So I trade on the 4 hour. So I would go one time frame up higher, which is the day chart. I would change from the 4 hour and go to the day chart. Then I would change from candles and go to line. To basically, I looking for areas where price turn around, where I could find support and resistance on the same line. So the chart look a little choppy right now, and it is much clearer to see where price close with the line chart. So it take away a lot of the guesswork. So whenever I see price turn around after a move, I look in to see if I find support and resistance on that zone. I mean on that where price close. So I can get a horizontal line. Price turn around here. I zoom out so I can see more of price. So I put this one here because I see that, and them two, as well as these over here. And the top one, I have support there and resistance there, so I'm happy with this top line. If you don't see why I put in a line there, you can stop me and ask me. I don't have a problem answering questions. I like to keep my prices at least 50 pips apart. I'll see when I pull it down that it goes bigger by the price. I lift it up and it opens up more. 20 would show me too much. I want to see more of the chart, so I separate by 50. I then would go back to the candles. I would go back to the candles and basically now my zones. Try to catch as much wicks as possible. And then I right click and go to the settings. And I just put in the highest number available, so it could be all the way in the past and all the way in the future. I check it by going to look at other prices and see how price move on my zone.
Question. How do you determine how thick your zone is? How you just draw that zone, that first zone just now? How thick you know to draw that?
Okay, so I drew it over here. I can remove it right now and I can do it over. You know, to me, right or wrong way to actually draw your zone. It's totally up to you. But what I found helpful is that if I do it too big, when I actually go back to the 4 hour, When I go back to the 4 hour, it looks small on this one, but when I go to the 4 hour,
This be huge.
yeah, I separate that by 50 pips, 20, 50 pips. That's a big area. You match it up compared to the candles, it is extremely big. So I look like I'll be going back for a long time. Anyway, I just try to get as much candles closing or wicks in my area, in my zone. So let me just see something. Okay, so let me remove this. All right, so when I starting, like how price turn around here, that would be like the first thing I look for. I see where price turn around here on top of my line. It ain't actually touch my line. Let me zoom in some more. It ain't really touch my line there. It didn't touch my line here. So I know that that's possibly mean that my zone could be that high where price could break, retest, and it stopped there because that area right there is probably where price turn around. So when I look back, when I put the crosshair there and I see I got wicks touching over here, price turn around over here, so my zone could now possibly be this high. And then I look over here and I see the candle close the same place where the wicks over here touch. So I looking at this now to be the top of my zone because I have the wicks in it now. I could factor in them wicks. I got the wicks, I got the body where price broke and retest, and then I have these candles where they actually close.
So are you taking into consideration the wicks beneath the line?
Yeah, that's where I see that's just the top. When I get down to the bottom now, I have to take them in consideration when I do in the bottom. So the top basically
Boom.
cover these closed candles. And now when I go to the bottom, because price turn around right here, I know I trying to catch as much. See, I got this little one here, this red one, this bearish candle right here. I want to make it so that touch my zone as well too. So
So now
that look good to me.
the support and resistance wicks.
Right. So it looked good to me now. Now I just extend it out. Settings, coordinates.
Put in the right password.
So I like that. That look good. I got a candle close there, find support, but it continued to break. I got resistance here where I touch my zone. I like it. It looked good. And now I just basically do that same thing for the rest of the zones. I'm glad you asked that question. Nobody never asked me that. I just know that I try to get as much wicks as possible and not have my zone too big. So right now I have this wick, I have this wick, I have these candles here. So that's what I'm looking at for the top of my zone. And the bottom of my zone, I'm looking at where these candles open and close right here. And I have these candles where they open and close as well. So I like that. If you don't see what I'm talking about, then let me know.
I found it helpful, guys. I mean, I might be slow, but you could actually zoom in on this chart call. I mean, I just found a feature. I may be lost, but it may be help to you guys if you can't see exactly when he touch a candle. You could pinch the screen and zoom in.
If you're on the phone, yeah. So for my zone on this one here, I don't like how it's so jumbled up. So I can try to look someplace else to see how I can draw that zone there. And I have price where price found a little bit of support here before I turn around and then break it. So I could look at that level there.
Hey Molly, you know what I was supposed to ask too? Something that I wanted to know if it would be helpful to do. All right, you say you're drawing your zones. You want differentiating between um the major zones and the little minor zones, right? But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes them ones there's B where you could expect price to as well. So would it be helpful to basically chart out the minor zones probably in a different color, a lighter color, just to differentiate between the major and the minor zones?
Um, I I I don't do that because when I go to the line, when I go to the line chart, this might appear to be a minor zone. This might appear to be a minor zone here, but I trading off the 4 hour. I'm trading off the day. So when I doing this here now, when I go to the 4 hour, I actually have some minor zones in here. So I try to because I trade zone to zone. Let's say I didn't put this one as my zone. This one here where I on. Suppose I didn't put that as my minor zone. I say, okay, this is my major zone up here. When I jump in this trade now for a sell, I gotta ride it all the way down here because this is my major zone here. So I would have to basically go from here all the way down here. And I'm not I say we say swing trader, but I'm not prepared to be in a trade for more than a week. I ain't prepared. And that will take more than a week. And then so if I say, okay, I go on from zone to zone, my next zone from here to here, from where I just draw the arrow, my next zone would be back up here where price just came from. Price could turn around and just continue to drop. It could come up to the minor zone, turn around, and then drop. So I don't like it did over here. Let's say if we only do the major zones, price come down as it reflected over here, and we say we go and riding up for a buy because we trading zone to zone, and then we get stop out here, or we hit our stop loss down here. Yeah, we'd have been in profit for a little while, but I don't practice watching my trades. I don't practice watching it. If I put a trade in, I put it in and I leave it alone. However it turn out, it turn out. So I have to factor in the minor zone so I don't get burned when I trading, because I trade in zone to zone. So 3-4 days I'll be in a trade if I do it like this, because I go in from zone to zone and not so much the major and minor zones. Because like I said, I still on the day chart. I ain't reached down to the 4 hour yet where we have way more zones in between. So these trend lines here like 700 pips from these major zones. I noticed a major zone because that's where price turn around. Price turn around after a downtrend. Same thing here. So I have to factor in. I have to factor in some of the minor zones because I'm not. If I was trading on the day, it would have been a different story because I'd have been charting up on the week. Because I go up a time frame. That makes sense.
Yep.
So I just want to cover all bases and play it safe. If I go into the next zone, I just ride into the next zone, get my profits, and dip out. So I can basically do that for all my other zones. Same thing how I've been drawing. This part I normally just breeze over because I so used to it. I just do it and don't even think that people might actually have questions because I just so used to doing it myself. But I'm glad y'all stopped to actually ask the questions.
All right, so you see how you just mark that zone underneath it, the zone that you just draw, right?
Say that again.
Sorry, I have a baby in my hand. All right, so you see how you just mark that zone, right? I would actually mark the zone in between that two,
In between here.
in between those two zones, right there. So would you consider that a zone?
I see. I looking for a major. I actually looking to see where price turn around here. I looking to see where price turn around here, and actually continue it. See, I see price. I see price going up and turn around on it, but I see where price going up and turn around on it. So that definitely is a minor zone. Is a really minor zone. In between these zones is a lot of minor zones as well. So, like I said, I on the day chart. So with this being, I see much resistance on this line. I see much. I see a lot of support where price going up to my next zone and then pull back and then going again. But I like that's 70 pips from my zone. 100 pips. I could get 100 pips out of that. That's 100 pips, yeah. So one possibly could go back in here. But I don't see it that clearly. Yeah, I don't see it that clearly. Now, if you start your back testing, and you see that you're getting burned because like when I say burn, I mean when I say when you do your back test, right? And you say that, okay, I looking for a certain thing and I see where price going up and then come back down, or it actually turn around there and then it hit my stop loss, then you could apply that to your rules as far as when you back testing. When I back testing, I did not account for these small minor zones in between the zones, because otherwise I'll have lines all day. So when I was doing my testing, I didn't account for it. So I don't want to. I see what you're saying now. That probably would be a good zone because that 100 pips apart, at least 100 pips. That's one of my rules. 100 pips apart, but I don't like it. I just personally don't like it.
Yeah, I only because that's a noticeably minor zone.
Yeah. That it ain't strong enough for me to say, yeah, I won't put my zone there.
And Molly, you got a question in the chat.
Where you would get pullbacks. It depends how I'm trading. If I'm twin trading, I would put my stop loss in profit. The minor zones are gonna be my TPs though. I know that for sure. The minor zones that I have that are in there that I don't have labeled, they're gonna be my TPs. So if I was to, let me go back to the candles. If I was to say I taking a buy on this one here, right? Let's just say I taking a buy here. My first TP If I buy from the bottom of my zone, my first TP would be where price find resistance over here and support right here. So that would be TP1. TP2, where price find resistance here, support here. That would be my TP2, and the top of my zone would be TP3. So I use the minor zones to give me my TPs. So as far as putting stop loss and profit, if I twin trading, if I have a position for each TP, then yes, to a certain extent, I would put my stop loss and profit at those zones later on, after they done pass it. But if I trading to finish my spreadsheet, stop loss go in profit about 5 pips after TP1 hit, probably in profit 5 pips. When TP2 hits, then stop loss goes to TP1, and then so on and so forth. But when I call in for my spreadsheet, I trying to call 50 pips straight. No deviation, no in between. Just buy, sell, buy, stop, sell, stop, 50 pips, 1 TP for the spreadsheet, and that's what I'm working on now.
Hey, so is most of the trades you jump in, you twin trade on them?
Like I say, it depends on how I trade. Like, because I'm trying to finish my spreadsheet now, I won't be twin trading. But if I just call in trades and just trading casually to make money off of fun, then definitely I'll divide my lot size by how much ever TPs I have. Whatever lot size I'm supposed to be using, 3% of my balance, I would divide that by 3. So if I have $100 in my account and I go in a trade and I have 3 TPs, 3% of $100 would be 3 cents. So I'll go in each position for each trade from entry to TP1 would be 1 cent, from entry to TP2 would be 1 cent, and from entry to TP3 would be 1 cent to calculate for my 3 cent lot size that I'm supposed to be using. Yeah. So twin trading when I just casually trading, twin trade. But because I on a mission to knock out the spreadsheet this month, straight 1 TP, no twin trading. All right, so after my zones are drawn up, I ain't finished drawing all of them. If we don't have no more questions with the actual drawing of the zones, I can just speed up the process a little bit. I don't want another 3-hour call. No questions about the zones. Okay, good. All right, so after my zones are drawn up, go to one of the pairs that I have charted already. All these pairs I basically trade except GJ. All of them I trade. There's about 20 or so in there. I going over to the 4-hour chart right now. 50 pips. I do basically everything from the 4-hour. My entry, my stop loss, my take profits, all that there. They're all the minor zones we have now. I use them to my advantage to place my TPs. So I don't just trade, not because price reach my zone, mean I activate my trade and say I buy selling because it go up and it touch my zone and I get rejected, mean I can sell. I actually wait for the market to actually print something to let me know that, hey, I looking to buy or sell this. So majority of the time, once I see a break and a retest, I can start looking for the market to go down because I see a break and a retest of my zone. The mere fact, this is my first indication that I'm looking for a sell because I see price break my zone and then it retests the zone. So this one here, this zone a little big. So I looking at this now. Price finds support here. Price finds resistance here. I looking for the sell off the bat with this one here. I don't really have any indication now after I see the break and retest to say sell. yeah, this one candle might be an indication that would help me to say buy or sell, but I need more confirmation than that. So with this one here, I actually have a trend. That's another confirmation. When I just like, I ain't see nothing yet. I just see a break and a retest. I see the trend.
Yeah, if you look, that's an engulfing candle.
I ain't get to that yet.
My bad. I'm sorry.
So the
That's the
first
same
thing
thing.
was
Anyway.
I see the
Hey,
break and the retest.
we spoke.
I see the break and the retest. That's one. I have a trend going down all the way up. I have it going down, and then I get this confirmation of this retest of the zone again, and then I get this next candle. This next candle comes out, goes all the way down, comes back up, but it still closes where it totally engulfed this candle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's bigger than the last 6 candles. So for me, that's I have a break and a retest, I have a trend line, and now I have an engulfing candle. So from here, I can go to the bottom of the wick, give it a little room. You gotta be that close on it. I looking at this now to put a sell stop. I put a sell stop here, and I can write it down to my next zone, which is here. I go to the top of the zone to play it safe. Matter of fact, I looking for an even number over here. So where the top of this zone might be 1.50660, I might just go to 75 one time. 750, 50750, and take my profit here.
Question, that's a personal choice of yours, because I was hearing you talk about even numbers. So that's something you just adopt.
Sometimes what I notice is that my TP is missed by 1 pip, 2 pip, half a pipette. Like, that's be hurtful, especially after you've been in a trade a long time. So suppose the trade don't close here. Let's say it don't come down to the top of my zone, and then it turn around, do a pullback, and when I look at my phone, I see it here. So I just lose. I really lose. I still ahead, but like I said, I don't check my phone like that. I don't check my trades. I really don't check my trades like that. So by the time I look at it, it might done be up here. And so I was like, shoot, TP missed by 1 pip, like 5 pipettes. Like I mad now, because from here to the bottom of the zone is about 40 pips. So I miss out on all my pips here because I catch it late. I mean, I react. By the time I look at it, I miss 75 pips. And that's hurtful.
Okay.
So I like to play it safe and just do it a little bit off the zone. 7.5, a little bit off the zone, and I catch 140 pips just because I saw this engulfing candle. After I saw the break retest, I got the trend line, and then I got an extra confirmation that it is finding support. It is starting to make its way down, and then I get an engulfing candle. And so I just write it down. We just catch 42 pips. Easy. So engulfing candle is one. I mean, I just wait on the market to print and show you what's going on. I just wait on it. You ain't gotta force nothing in the market. You just wait on it. And I on the 4 hour. The 4 hour give me that extra confirmation. Where the 15-minute or the hour chart mightn't be as clear. When you see this happen, the break and the retest on the 4 hour, then chances are ain't no guesswork in that. Ain't that guesswork, because the trend line also acts as support and resistance as well. I don't know if you all noticed that. but the trend line acts as support and resistance as well. So the break and retest, and it on the trend line. It came down out the zone and went back to the zone and find resistance there, and then an engulfing candle. That's automatic. I don't think you need no more confirmation than that to say you can take this trade.
Yeah, that one complete.
This wick might scare people. The wick might scare people, but I don't, like I tell people, I don't worry where price go. I worry about where the candle close. So on this one here, where the wick came up on the 15-minute, that might be a lot of pips. On the 15-minute, this might be a lot of pips. So 5288. Okay, not too bad. 10 pips. 10 pips. But sometimes people panic when they see little 30 pip move. But I know what time my 4-hour candles come out. So if they see price going up there and they start panicking, you holding the trade, like when the candle close, check me 1 o'clock. I saw you let me say that before. Check me 9 o'clock. I ain't let you know 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That's the time my candles has come out. So whatever price close. So I ain't worrying about that. I break the zone. I looking to see where this candle closed so I can see how price respects my trend line. So, and it did close below. So break, retest, easy money. Easy money, no stress. When the trade activated down here, probably went in a negative couple pips. But ultimately you get 100 and something pips easy. So that's one thing that I look for. I also do the double bottom and double top. I can look for an example of that. Okay. So price was coming up, price was going up, price was going up. Price basically came down. I looking for it to go back up to retest. So a lot of times you see me, and I like this week gone, I call no trade at all. This is what I see. I see price got rejected, and I want it to come back up here to retest. I don't care where price go. I want to see it come back up here to retest to the bottom here. Because when I draw up my zones, we know that to the top of the zone, we can find support and resistance. To the bottom of the zone, we can find support and resistance. Y'all with me, right? Y'all with me on that one?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Sure, for sure.
All right. So when we draw our zone, we know that we went to the wicks to the top. We went across, and then we went down to the bottom to find some more wicks to the bottom. So we know that that's support, and that's resistance, and it goes both ways. So because I see this support broken now to the bottom, because I see the support broken, I want to see it come back up to get retested. Even though this one ain't come as close, I could live with that. Because again, first thing I noticed is the price came down. It found resistance to the top, so it came down. I see where price tried to come back up again. See where price tried to come back up again. That's my second top. So this is the first top. This the first top, and this the second top on a trend line heading down. So on this one here, plus on this one here, this next candle engulfed it, but I don't consider it an engulfing candle because this candle here, it isn't bigger than the last 6. So I don't consider that an engulfing candle. But I know because I see the double top, I put in my sell stop below this candle, below the open of that candle. I put in my sell stop there, and I riding it down to the next zone. Sell stop to the bottom of that candle and riding it down because I got that retest. And as far as I can say, that's the second touch on the trend line. So 1 top, 2 top, and I can ride it down to my next zone and TP hit. $210 pips. No stress.
My Lord.
No stress. How long it take? I ain't look to see how long it take. But 2 days, 8 hours for 210 pips. Easy money. Easy.
Yeah.
So that's the double top there. Some people would like to see the actual candle close up here for the double top, but this how I look at my zones. And it's basically how the book referred. It's how naked trading, naked forex. It's how they explain the zones. When you were small and you put your hand on the pot and you get burned on the stove. You put your hand on the stove, you get burned. The second time you go to that stove, you're gonna approach that with caution, right?
Right.
So the same thing with
Yeah.
the zones. Price has a good memory. It come up here and it get run out of there. See how long these can like get run out of there. So when it came back up, it's like I won't get burned again. I ain't fooling with that one. So it leave this long wick. It leave that long wick and come down. Now you saying you might be saying, okay, as this happening, you say, okay, price actually moving right now. Yeah, price actually moving. So you say now, okay, I can't take this trade because I can see this clear as day when price moving. So if we didn't have these candles here, we didn't have none of these candles here, and you see this happening, you probably ain't gonna take that trade. That's all you see right there. And you saying you don't know if you could take that trade because you might be waiting for price to come all the way back up here. But after you see price start to come down, you draw that trend line, then that would be an opportune time for you to get in the trade. And that's why I just do the sell stop. I ain't trying to press sell. I just do the sell stop. If price was to turn around on this one candle, and it's the 4 hour, this ain't a 50-minute where I could just jump that way and then go back up. This the 4 hour, that can take a little while. So if you put it to the base of this candle here, the green candle, then when price does turn around, it ain't just turning around to say I turning around or just to say let me activate your trade. It can start to go in that direction. So from here, this probably would have been my TP1. I got in up here, this would have been my TP1. This would have been my TP2. And then my TP3 would have been down here to my zone. So that's the double top. I look for a double bottom. I like stuff that's clear. Like this one here, I don't want to teach y'all this as the double bottom, where price found support and then went up and then come back. I don't want to teach that way, but in essence, that's in a nutshell, that's what it is. Price came down, it's the first touch, it went up and it came back down, find support again, and it ain't come out as low as the previous candle. That's another double bottom. But I don't want to teach, I want it to be clear as day. The clearer, the better. So obviously, y'all know I was taking this trade. Price find support here, come back out and then to the top of my zone where support and resistance is again and find it there. But I don't count that as the double bottom either. This one here, even though it's off my zone, I definitely wasn't taking it because price came down to the same place twice. When I do my double bottom, I want price to come down, go up, and then come down, but don't come down as low as the first touch, if that makes sense. Y'all can see that?
Yeah.
I don't want it to come down. I don't want it to come down all the way to be even as the first touch. I wanted to show me. I wanted to show me clearly that that's what they can do. I want it to be clear. So looking for a double bottom now. This one here, I wouldn't take the trade as a double bottom, even though it does meet my criteria where it went up, it came down, went up, and then came down, didn't come down as low. Like it meets my criteria, but like this has gone up too much. This might have been where price was coming down. It didn't break the zone, so it went up to build up momentum and then break it. So I would have been a little skeptical of this one here. But in essence, this is what it is. First touch, second touch, and ride it all the way up. You'd activate this trade here with the when you see this bullish candle here. You see this bullish candle here because it's the first touch and it's the second touch. Y'all with me so far, right? I ain't lost y'all.
One more time. Go through that one more time.
All right, so this is the first touch where price came down. Stop on my zone. It went up, came back down, and it didn't come down as low. And this is what I would have been looking for ultimately, for it to go up to my next zone. So first touch here, price go up, come back down, and don't come down as low as this one. This one closed, they opened and closed way down here, and then this one opened and closed down here, and it wasn't as low as the first touch for the double bottom. So I would enter the trade here at the wick, at the top of this wick, and put a buy stop here and ride it up to my next zone. Now this very next candle would have activated the trade, take us in the negative. So let's say I got in at 50.75. That's 75 pips already in the negative. 50. I don't know why I'm trying to calculate this. If someone's drawdown, we would have had 160 pips. 160 pips, but we always leverage properly. I was gonna ride that trade out. Again, I looking at where candle closed. So when I see this move down, I ain't panicking yet. I want to see where this candle closed. When I see it closed there, I mean I can see where it could be finding support. So when I see these other candles come in, I hold in my position. It would have been nerve-wracking. This one would have been nerve-wracking. And because I see the double bottom, I contend with my trade. But if I had a stop loss, my stop loss would have been the bottom of this first touch. So my stop loss would probably get hit if I had to use a stop loss. My stop loss would have gone right here to the bottom of where the first touch is, right under the wicks. That's where my stop loss would have gone.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
The second time she touched your zone, you said it closed above the first touch. If it closed below, then would you that considered a lower low?
Definitely, yes. That would have been a lower low, and the double bottom wouldn't have been in question. I wouldn't have been thinking about the double bottom.
Good stuff.
Why I say I wouldn't have taken this because this push up was so high, because this created a new high or a higher high from the last high. Like that's what have me a little uneasy about taking the double bottom from this. So to me it was like it going to build up more momentum to break the zone.
Okay.
I didn't get no indication that it was gonna turn around here. As far as I'm concerned, I get a small break of my actual line inside the zone, a break and a retest. That's what I see. So I looking for it to go down. So when I see this move up and make a new high, I a little concerned. So I wasn't gonna take this setup, but I just wanted to show you all the essence of a double bottom. But that's what it is to me. Right here, first touch, second touch, double bottom, and then ride it all the way up. So I can actually look for a solid one. I could go slow this time so I could see if I find it without looking in the future. So this one here came lower, so I ain't looking for the double bottom, but I do see this engulfing candle here. The engulfing candle went straight up to the next zone. So to know if this could work for you, I want you to do a spreadsheet. Do a spreadsheet where you just have your entry, the reason you take the trade, what your entry point is, where your stop loss is, how much pips you getting out the trade, what your lot size is. Like this, like do it on the spreadsheet or paper as if, and I want you to do this like 100 times. This you back testing now. This how you back test. And basically have all them information down. As soon as you say, okay, I see an engulfing candle on top of my zone now, I'm looking at this, I write this down, my buy stop. Because I find an engulfing candle here, I put in my buy stop here at 1.5 for 200, and I put in my TP at 155,000. And I take this trade because it's an engulfing candle. My pip count is 80 pips. 80 pips. My stop loss would be right under the engulfing candle, the wick of the engulfing candle. So maybe 50 pips will be my stop loss, and then you just go slowly one candle at a time to see how your trade is gonna turn out. So you might say, okay, my stop loss hit. Might say your stop loss hit, and then you could make a note to say that, okay, stop loss hit, and TP end up hitting after stop loss hit, and you say how much pips it was. So as you go on and you do more trades, you would realize that what works and what don't work for you. You would know what work and what don't work. Like for me, to lose out on 100 or 80 pips just because your stop loss was only 12 pips don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I see that.
So I can give myself some room. I ain't using no stop loss. That's what happened when I do my back testing, man. Your situation might be different because you might be more precise with your zones. So when you back test, you know the rules of your trading strategy when you back test. And then just keep on doing it. I don't like the engulfing candles in the zones. I want to see them off the zone, like we did with this one here. This was off the zone. I don't like the engulfing in, like how this one is in the zone and then we get an engulfing candle here and it didn't go to the next zone. I don't take them trades because that's what I learned doing my back testing. Not take the engulfing candles in my zone. They turn out to be losing trades sometimes, or probably 50-50, and I ain't trying to take no 50-50 chance with my money. So this one ended up playing out good, but I wasn't gonna take that setup, not because of no engulfing candle.
So the engulfing candle always close out of the zone, you say?
Not close. I don't take them if it starts in the zone. I don't take that setup. I don't take the engulfing candle setup in my zone, because remember now, this is support down here. The bottom of the zone is support. The top of the zone is resistance. If you look at it from it coming up, and if it coming down, the top of it is support, and the bottom of it is resistance. So if I was to put a sell stop here, price could very well come here, find support, and then go back up. So I don't take it in the zone. They have to be outside of the zone. And like I say, when you back test, you can figure it out. Like this candle here, you would agree this is engulfing candle. This one what I on in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, that's one.
That's an engulfing candle, but it's in the zone. And what it do? It go on to the top of the zone, find resistance, and then it drop.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't take them in the zone. I want them to be off the zone.
Safety voice.
Yeah, I play it safe. This is my money. So you just back test, ain't bigger than the last 6, ain't taking that. Okay, so this one here, where it going? This engulfing candle here. I said I wasn't taking the setup, even though it off my zone. It ain't bigger than the last 6. That's why I didn't take the engulfing candle. As this one has the engulfing candle, I wasn't gonna take the trade because it isn't bigger than the last 6. So the higher probability is when it's higher than the last 6 to me. Now, when you do your back test, you might say the last 2 candles or the last 10 candles. Like you can figure it out when you do your back testing. And back testing takes 20 minutes. We already run through like 5 trades using engulfing candles. So it really can take like 20 minutes. So this one would have failed. We probably getting profit a little bit if we put a buy stop here to go to the next zone. It's a minor zone here. See your price find support here. It turn around, find resistance right there. It play around. You in the trade all this time while it's playing around, and for it only to be a loser. So I see the break and the retest and the engulfing. I taking this one, and don't get me wrong, because I say I ain't taking engulfing candles in my zone because my line is here, and I get this. I don't normally use these lines. I just move them, but because I see where my line is in price find resistance on. I have the break and the retest. I have the trend line. I got the trend. I got a break and a retest, and I get an engulfing candle. I taking that. And I riding it down to the next zone. Support. Break and a retest. I could very well have this trade with a break and a retest down here. I need the wicks on all these wicks. I put my sell stop here and I ride it down. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, sorry about all the questions, but
No, man. That's how you can learn. If you don't ask, you still lost.
Do you use candle formation in your trades?
I candle formation. You mean like single, double candles?
I mean like that one you just did with the engulfing bearish and that they call that, I think, like a morning star or something like that, like just candle setups or setup names or something like that. Do you use that?
It's a yes and a no. They don't give me confidence to say that that's what can happen, but I take them into consideration. Like that's a bonus for me. So I have a break and a retest, and if you want to call this, I don't even know what they name because I don't use them like that. But I see a break and a retest, and if this was the evening star or whatever, morning star, whatever it is, as far as I'm concerned, I get an engulfing candle. So if I was to see it and I say, okay, that's a plus, or if I see the pullback happening and then I see a doji or something, I'd be like, okay, that look good. The pullback finish, I could continue my trade like that. But I don't say I base no trade off no one candle aside from the engulfing candles.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it ultimately. I wanna learn. I wanna get to learn them. The more you could see on the chart, the more you'll be able to to find your perfect entries, and that's our end goal.
I agree. Now, if I plan on adding them to my strategy right now, I would actually have to back test them first. I do 100 trades with each one of them, each one of the candle formations, and see how it turn out. And if it ain't 90% accurate where I could actually learn something from it, then I won't use it. But that's just how I operate because I need to be 90% sure on the trade.
Hey, Molly.
Yo,
Quick question. So you know you have different traders that like you said they have different strategies. On some people they use those forgive me because I ain't that smart, but them diagrams like the patterns. Do you use any of those when you are going from zone to zone, or you stick to this and this only? You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah. I just finished. Like for me, I want to master this. So my knowledge, I'm always studying and always trying to get better. So I added some of those to my strategy to help me get perfect entries or help me maximize because I only trading when I get 50 pips or more. So I looking for the small opportunities too, where I could make money all around, where I could jump down to the hour chart and say, okay, I see a rising wedge or a falling wedge or a descending wedge, and go from there. So yeah, I adding them to my strategy now, but I don't blindly just add stuff to my strategy. I actually go and back test it, see how it turned out, and then go demo it for a little while and see how it go, and then I'll go live with it because I'm comfortable with it now. I know what my results basically gonna be when I hop in the market with it because I already back tested and I already demo it. So definitely adding them other stuff to it would be powerful. It would be powerful.
Okay.
Like
Appreciate
this
it.
is what I'm looking at now. I see where price basically, in a sense, it's struggling to go up. In a sense, they're coming down very fast when they do go up. They're coming down very fast. You see a lot of long candles when they're coming down. So price struggling to me. To me, it's struggling. Um, this would be more or less something I do on the 1 hour chart, so I can get the smaller. I ain't looking for no big pips on them with the diagrams. I looking for smaller, quicker intraday strategies to add. But my long term strategy with Naked is strictly zone to zone. I don't get them confused because I used to it now. So even when I looking for the diagrams with the wedges and whatever else, the rising wedge, descending wedge, the triangles, the flags, I look more for them on the 1 hour time frame. Because like I might have a long candle here, but this might actually be a flag on the 1 hour. It come down, create a flag, and then continue down on the 1 hour. Because it's 4 hours, and just make a big move. So this candle here might have come down, gone up, come down, gone up, gone up, gone up, and then come back down and do the second impulse on the flag. But on the 4 hour, it's clear as day. Zone to zone. I wouldn't have taken this as an engulfing candle either. Even though it engulfed the last candle, it didn't do the last 6. But yeah, the diagrams, definitely read up on them and understand what they are and how to identify them and backtest. Backtest. Whatever you do, backtest before you go live and trade with your real money. Definitely. Without a doubt. Now, if you just saying you learn by actually seeing and doing, backtesting definitely for you because you actually seeing it in the market. Don't do it live. Backtesting require you to enter 0 trades. You just need to type them into a spreadsheet or write them down for your reason to jump in the trade. And like I said, do it like 100 times and you'll be good to go. You know what you're looking for because you gain experience by seeing it. And then when you demoing it, you're gaining more experience because now you're looking in a live market for it. And you know what your results can be because you just trade 100 trades. And if 90 of them were successful, and you end up getting 20,000 pips from back testing, and then you lose 2,000, like you know that you're comfortable when you go in the market live. So if you on this question and you lost or you don't want to speak up to ask a question, like asking the question you need to ask is the best way for you to learn. The best way. And I was like that where I didn't want to ask no questions. And look at me now, I teaching.
Don't
So
worry, me and Rashad is ask all the questions. Don't watch that.
they messaging y'all and asking y'all the questions.
Only way to learn, buddy.
So I know that Rashad and Rano gonna be my two beat traders because they asking all the questions. They trying to learn. Not saying that everybody else won't, but
Hey, I asking questions too.
who you is?
GJ, sit down,
Oh,
man.
okay. Sorry, sir. Yeah, David asking too. I know he ain't asked for him though.
No, my thing is, so okay, how you going from zone to zone, right?
Yeah.
Like you say, even you trading off for the day or the 4 hours. So even if you're getting a pullback may look small on the day and the 4 hour, but then for me being able, me trading on the 15 all the time, that pullback may be like 50 to 70 pips, but it might look small on the day and the 4 hour. So my thing is, like, I trying to figure out when you twin trade, do you twin trade after if you see a pullback like that, and then just try to eat up to the entry point, or like how do you what determines your twin trade? You knowing that from the start, or you waiting to see if it pulls back? Because you know where it's going, but like you can eat all the way back to your entry plus your TP. Does that make sense?
I got you because you use a scalper, and that's why it would make sense. Like I understand what you're saying because I understand how you trade. So you could
And see, that's why I try to learn how you trade so I could eat all of that.
All right. So basically, before any pullback was to happen, I would already be in profit. Before, let me see. Let me look at one of these setups that I find. Okay, so I take this one as an engulfing candle, right? I got in here. Put some lines down. Short position. I get in here. Stop loss there. I shooting for down here. I shooting for my zone. I know I going above the zone or whatever, right? But if I get in here, I get in the trade here on a sell stop. Price goes down. Price goes down. Here we get it. We get in at 524, 52500. 52500. All right, so we done about 40, 50 pips in profit, right? We get a small pullback. We get a small pullback here. We still 15 pips in profit, and I hold in my position.
Okay, 1 second. So you see how you got it at the after the at the second candle, right?
At the I got in. Yeah, the second trade the second candle activated my trade, and it took me back up here. It took me in the negative for a little while.
How much pips that was back to the top, or even from that first candle, tip of the candle before?
This candle here would actually in the zone, the engulfing candle.
Yeah.
You asking where that started?
Yeah, because I can't your screen. Let me
All
see.
right.
I'm trying to look at it.
53136. So from the tip of that wick to where my entry is 71 pips. But I ain't looking for price to go up there. Once I see this next candle activate and I go in a negative 40 pips, like once price don't go above where the engulfing candle started, then I good.
And see me trying to incorporate what I do with that. See, I would have got in for that little bit of correction right to the bottom of it. You see, I would have wait, between 70 to 100 now to get in there for the correction and try to wait. So I guess I could have eat twice on that.
Yeah, you could have.
Because I know where it was gonna go on the zone, and then when it dropped at 100 pips, I could have jumped in for the correction and still stay in for the long haul.
All right, you call it a correction.
But you know, yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
looking at.
All right, but I don't want to confuse the other people who don't or who may not who trying to understand this. You call it a correction because on the 15 minute, that's what you see. You see it as a
Yeah.
70 pip impulse move.
Yeah.
70 pip, I can go down to the 15 minute. So that's where you're trading from. You're trading from the 15 minute.
Hey, Biggie, that's some innovative thinking right there, boy. That is innovative. How you
Let me
feel?
tell you, the light bulb just turned off. I was eating me some nice Chinese just now, and that food cold now. I try to, everybody trust me. You could eat twice on that. If you know, I've been trying to learn this for a while though. That's why it's picky brain when I talk to them.
So the 15 minute, it don't go back that far because it's so much candles to get back to the front. It ain't
Yeah,
much. But I can look for one further up.
but you see what I saying though, right, Molly?
I got you. I know exactly what you're saying.
So I trying to figure. So in that situation there, it would be good to have two accounts. One where you could go for the zone to zone, and then the other one for when you see when it doing a pullback, where you can actually catch it back to where it's going.
Well, I mean, to each his own. Let me tell you why I don't scalp is because of my schedule. That's my preference. Like, yeah, I know you trying to double up, and that's fine. But like let's kill it. I ain't got no problem with that. Let's kill it. But for me and my time, I ain't trying to be in the market all day. I plug my trades in, put in my hour a day, knock that in, end up with 200 pips easy after 2-3 days, and I good.
Mm-hmm.
I good for the week. So with this impulse move here, even though I wouldn't take this setup because it's in my zone, even though it finished underneath, I wouldn't take this setup as a sell stop to ride down to the next zone. I can go down to the 15 minute. Separated by 10 pips. We still get, this probably was news or something on the 15 minutes. You saying you would have ride it back up if it was the same conditions as the first one.
Yeah.
If it was the same conditions where it came all the way back up, where we went about 40 pips in the negative,
I
engulfing
just
candle,
got it.
40 pips in the negative. Wow, we probably would have ride it back up there. See, on the 15 minute, like I have no fear. I have no fear when I go on the 15 minute. I mean on the 4-hour chart, because the 15
Yeah.
minute give me a lot of noise. That's how I see it. I see it as a lot of noise. When I look to see where price is now. Like this is a long time. You also saw it was on my 4-hour chart with this here what I did earlier. What I showed you all earlier. Like it just looked like noise here. I can't identify the trend. If I look at this on the 15 minute, I would say, okay, it probably going back up because it didn't come down 100%. It probably going back up. But on the 4-hour, it's still choppy on the 4-hour, mind you. Still choppy on the 4-hour, but I waiting on a move. I waiting to see what can happen here. And that's why I have my arrows drawn up. On 15 minute, that's too too much noise. I want to just set it and forget it and check it back at the end of the week or later on when someone say, hey, Molly, your TP hit. And I go back and I look at it and I say, okay, yeah, TP hit. Just to let the group know, because I just don't know when my TP's hit. I don't be checking.
Okay. I have another question, but I see some Indy asked a question in the chat about the 2 accounts.
All right. So with the 2 accounts, you with Traders Way, Indy?
Yes.
You Indy, you didn't get straight with FinPro Way. To me, trade. I mean, I ain't trying to bash your broker, but I don't fool with Traders Way. I know I don't think they regulated. So I don't like unregulated brokers. Anything liable to happen. But if you whatever account you verified on, yes, definitely you could have more than one account on with your same broker, or you could use different brokers. Like it's every decision you make basically up to you. I would definitely recommend having more than one account. If you have all your eggs in one basket, and you was to take a losing trade, you lose everything. So me personally, I have more than one account. I have more than 2 accounts. I have a big account, and then I have some smaller accounts that I build up over time. So whenever I play my big account very safe, and then I go back to my smaller accounts every once in a while to build them up as well. So when I say I call in trades, and I would actually have to go to different accounts to plug in certain trades. Because if I want to build my small account, I may plug in the same trade on 4 accounts. I plug that same one trade in 4 accounts, and I ain't watching all 4 of them. I might watch one account, but them other accounts, I don't really check for it. So having more than one account will be very, very beneficial. Like especially if you just want to make money and you just want it to happen passively. If I send a trade and you plug that in, and however it turn out because you weren't checking for that account, and then you scalping with David and you get your money right then and there, by all means, you seeing your money right up front with David. And then when you go back and you see that you have that same amount within this account, which you're focusing so much on, you have that same amount in another account that you're building from trades that you don't even check for. Then that's doubling your money, basically, in a sense.
Okay, because I have FinPro also, but I don't think I deposited my money in that one.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll go back and deposit money in that one now to trade with you.
Okay.
Right? Yeah?
Yeah, that's fine, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. More than one account. So when you take a loss, like what is beyond mindset? I'd really love to know what is beyond mindset when y'all take a loss. Y'all take a trade where y'all lose money. What is beyond mindset? What y'all be thinking?
Jump in another trade with David to make back that money.
We could be real. We all here took losses before.
Yeah.
I could tell you all on a story. So this past week when I build a 500 to 10 grand this week on my account where I was when I think I was at 7 or 8. That I think news came out or something. And I kid you not, and you see them candles shooting up in the wrong direction. Anybody in the right mind to start talking to themselves. Molly, did I lie?
No, you don't lie.
Like I was driving, and I talking to the phone, talking to the candle, talking to myself, telling me I was calling myself stupid. So everybody's go through it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know something? Jasmine was doing a live on what you call it on the Legacy Facebook page with Christopher Terry. And I told Marley this too. That opened up my eyes about this whole trading. You know, me and Molly been trading, but we ain't nothing yet. Like we still babies in the game. And he said something that made so much sense. He said, if you and I cool with talking Molly.
Yeah.
I
You
just,
want me to stop
my light
recording?
bulb just going off just now because you asked the question.
You want
But
me to
we
stop
all
recording?
took losses, and
You want me to stop recording?
it's up to you. No man, you can record.
All right.
I record. Let them hear the realness. Hello,
Right.
but he say, okay, if you go in the market, I could use numbers. I could use the numbers he used, but you could use the same numbers everybody have been trading with or making. So he say, if you go there and you make $1,000 off of a trade, you all happy and you excited and you know things are going so good, right? He said the average person, he say their mind is what it's cost people lose. Because he say, let's say you hit $1,000, right? So you happy, the momentum going, oh, you're having a good week trading or a good day trading, right? And then you get another trade and all of a sudden, bam, you're $100 in the negative, right? So instead of you still thinking that, hey, I'm $900 profit for the week or for the day or whatever time frame it is, your mind is telling you, I'm losing 100, I'm losing 100. Then all of a sudden, you chasing or you letting it go, and all of a sudden now, you're losing 300. And instead of you say, okay, shut up, I almost cursed, shut up and be happy with the 700 profit you have, guess what? You feel negative and down about it because now you 300 in the hole. It could be $50, it could be 50 cents. I just called in the numbers he was going over. You know, so the mind plays a serious thing on us because even at that point where we 300 in the negative, we have to know when to stop, when to call it a loss, and basically say, you know what, I'm still $700 in profit. Let me catch up with the next trade. But our mind tells us, no, we're losing, we're down, we're down, we're down, and then all of a sudden, you end up losing your profits and some of your money. So for me, because I've been on both sides, you know, of the field, and I'm like, okay, I've blown accounts, but then I came back and I made it back and made some more. But when he said that, like it made sense because you could be up like this whole week. I took 500, now is up $8,000, and that trade went where it was almost like 4,000, 5,000 negative. And instead, and even at that point in time, I still felt like, hey, I was still losing. You know, yeah, technically it was my money, but I felt like I was losing. But then remember what he was saying? I just put the phone down and I say, you know, it is what it is. I put a stop loss where basically I would have still walked away with 1,000 if it went that way, and not feel like I lost 6,000.
Right.
And when I basically did that and put my phone down, in less than 20, 30 minutes, I guess news or whatever came up and shit, the damn take profit hit and take me right to 10,000. But I had a learning experience, and even I was telling Molly as it was happening, I say, buddy, that's some serious knowledge he just dropped, because your mind will make you lose all your money. But if you basically come up with a game plan, like shoes, even if I did walk away where my profits was $1,000, I took 500 and made 1,000. So I still would have been a winner that week or a winner that day.
Right.
So you know, you just say you have to know when to stop, and then you have to fight your mind when you're trading. Because if you don't fight your mind, just because it's used to telling you so much things, like you could be negative freaking $20, and all of a sudden you sit and waiting. You say, and you may see, you know, the trade going opposite direction, and you still sit and wait, and then and blow your account. So just by you saying that and talking about how you feel when you lost, that I just wanted to share my feelings on. And this is not the first time, you know, but now it makes sense from a dude who make millions and millions of dollars from trading. It makes sense. Then you just have to know how to walk away, how when to call it a day. You know, even if you you profiting, $50 the whole week, and all of a sudden you get in the trade and you lose 25 of it.
You still
Shit,
ahead
be
20.
happy with the $25.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Don't be mad you lost $25. That was a plus.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it now. And then when it's all profits, shit, I just, like, when I do a withdrawal, I'll leave a couple $100 on there, and that's my stuff for next week. If I lose it, it was all profit.
Right.
If I multiply it, then hey, it's all fair game. So that's my little 2 cents.
Hey. All right. It can't get no better than that. Can't get no better than that. And that's why I kind of ask what your mindset is be when you take a loss. Like, if you don't want to lose no money, don't trade. If you don't want to lose no money, don't trade. You will take a loss. Dr. K used to say, don't trade what you ain't prepared to lose. Like, that's the ultimate detaching from the money. That's why I could put my phone down. After I plug in the trade, I could put my phone down. For one, because I'm confident that the trade can hit. I'm confident the trade can hit. And if the trade don't hit, then it don't hit. Like, that's it for me. I happy. I content. I ain't happy, but I content with the loss. Because I already know that the market, it could happen in the market. And that's why I kind of ask, like, what your mindset be when y'all lose money. Because if you upset, and you will go revenge trading and trying to over leverage to make the money back up, and then you put yourself in a bigger hole than you was before. So mindset is a serious thing. A lot of trading is basically mindset. The majority of trading is mindset. No matter how you look at it, mindset. Like me, like how I confident in my trades. Like I don't have to send 10 trades a day. I could trade 3 times a week, and I happy. I happy. They hit. I happier. I good. Ain't no rush. This market ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. And when you apply what you learn, when you apply what you are taught, what you go out and find, and you apply that to the market, piece of cake. Piece of cake. And I probably saying this now because I done do my studying or whatever, and that's all you'll have to do. Just go and apply yourself to what you have access to. You have the academy there. You have IML TV there. You have me and David there. Like, just reach out. I don't think nobody can say that they asked us a question and they didn't get assistance with it. So it everything is here for you to make money. Everything is here.
Jhirmal, you said that your schedule is very set. So what time do you trade so that I can set my schedule to be able to see what you're calling?
I normally trade between the hours of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. 8 and 9 p.m. That's when I normally look at my charts to find a trade before I go lay down to sleep. I can plug them in before I go to bed, and I'm looking for it to hit by morning or to at least activate by morning. But sometimes I just look at the market Sunday night and say, okay, this is how I see it for the whole week. This is what I see it doing for the rest of the week, and I plug all them in one time on Sunday, and I just leave them. I give enough room so all of them don't activate at the same time. But 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is when I normally trade. Once I don't have no extra activities, which I don't normally have. But them one-on-one Zoom calls, that throw me right off. And that's why I pushing for everyone to ask their questions while they on the call and not come back, and then I have to do another Zoom call with you tomorrow or through the week when the market open and I want to be relaxing. If you're on the call and you have questions, like, I ain't telling you don't ask your questions. If you have one, come up during the week. But it would be easier if you ask when you're on the line with everybody, because someone else probably have the same question that you have, and I'm having to do 3 calls to answer the same question. So the one-on-one Zoom calls takes away a lot from us actually trading and finding good trades for the team. So
Yeah,
8 to 9 o'clock. We can try to help, but that one-on-one, like, if you have a question, dumb question, all us basically in this to learn off each other, and that's why we do it, so we can help each other. So it ain't no such thing. The only dumb question is the one that don't get asked. So feel free. I give homework. I know if y'all ever heard that before, I give homework when I do my trainings. So if you don't
What was the homework for today?
huh?
What's the homework for today?
I can tell you all right now. So if I give you all homework and you don't get back to me, because I ain't running behind nobody. If you don't get back to me, I can take it as you don't want to learn. And so when you ask me another question about something else, I can remember that you have homework for me. Because I ain't gonna remember who I have homework for or who have homework for me. And when you come and you reach out to me, that let me know that you're serious about learning how to trade. I ain't gonna take nothing of it if you don't do the homework. It don't matter to me. Because that you just stopping your progress basically. So my homework for y'all is I want y'all to draw up a zone on a chart. My favorite pair is EUR NZD. I want y'all to draw up a chart and draw up your zones and then find a trade. I want you to find a trade. And basically, I want you to use this one. I want you to use this tool here, the short or the long. You get it right over here. Where the trend line is, then the fib, then the box, text, this one here. Go to the right arrow. Look for the long or short position. And I want you to identify the trade and tell me why you're taking the trade. And it could be a back test trade. It could be a trade where it already happened, it already play out. Like if you was to come here and just say, okay, I taking a short position here, I enter here, I put my stop loss. I put my stop loss here, my take profit to my next zone. That's what I want. And tell me why you take the trade. Put a text box, engulfing candle, and that's all you really have to say. I take the trade because it was an engulfing candle. That's all I want y'all to do. Draw up your zones and then find a trade.
When does this do?
Whenever, like I say, I ain't running behind nobody. So whenever you finish it, you send it to me. Send it to me in Telegram, whatever. What to do is this button here. It have a picture. If you're doing it on your phone, then you just screenshot it. But this picture here, this picture button is when you click that, copy the URL. Either go to WhatsApp or Telegram, and send it to me. Send it to me on Telegram. If you're on your computer, link your computer to Telegram. If you're on your phone, just screenshot it and send it to me. Yeah. So whenever you get it, if you don't do it, you don't do it. You no rush. But I promise you, if you do it,
What tool is to use? I didn't see that.
the long or short position. If you're going in for a buy, use the long position. You're going in for a short. If you're going in a sell, use the short position.
Okay.
I think that was a feature on the phone. Never mind. I can find a laptop. If I gotta go rent one, I get
It on the phone too. It on the phone too. But definitely drop your zone on EUR NZD. I don't want to pull it up now, so y'all can start screenshotting.
Why is that your favorite pair?
Because the zones are very far, and I have left. I can go to GBP NZD. You trying to cheat, but
Okay, Monka, how can you tell how many? Oh, never mind.
How many pips? You could either use the ruler. Either use the ruler or calculate it yourself. Like you know where your entry point is and you know where your TP is, and you could just subtract them from each other, and you'll get the pip count along with the pipette.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this one from these two zones here, just subtract if you use the calculator, don't worry about the 1 point. Just calculate 99945 minus 98077, and it'll give you the pip count, which would be like 180 something. 180 something.
Vale.
Yo.
Hey, real quick, I know how to do it, but what if we have some folks on here that don't know how to mark? Can you show us where to go on drawing the lines?
Okay. Okay. So I can draw this one over. So my first, well, if you drawing up, I want you to trade it from the 4 hour, just how I trade it. That's what I want you to do. So change it to the line. Everything. If you're looking at the screen, after the pair name, the time frame, and then the candle, I want you to change that to line. The trend line. After the first one have the crosshair, the dot, the arrow, the eraser. The second one have the trend line, the horizontal line, vertical line, the arrow. The third one have the fib. I only use the fib in this one. The fourth one have the box, the rectangle that I use to draw my zones. The text, you can go to text to write out the reason why you took the trade, the engulfing candle, whatever, cancel that. And then the long and short position would be right here. You want to calculate your pips, just go to the ruler. If you starting to draw, like if you just starting to get familiar with TradingView, and you already start drawing, you already draw a couple zones, you already draw a couple lines, you want to move your chart now. Let's say you want to move your chart. I don't want you to be aware that if you was to try to drag it, because you have to click on it to drag it over, I don't want you to miss and grab a trend line and then trying to move over. You could press back up here to the top, or if you want to go back, you could just lock it to the bottom left. There's a lock button, and then you could, no matter if I go on that trend line to pull on it, it lock in place now. Another thing too is like how I could just draw a couple lines one time is because I in drawing mode. I stay in drawing mode. I have that highlighted. I have it stay in drawing mode so that I could continuously just add and add and add. And what I do is to get out of drawing mode, not to get out of the horizontal line, I just right click. If you look, and you can see that it highlighted in blue now. When I right click, it come off. You also make sure that your magnet isn't on, because if it on and you're trying to draw, what it can do is it can try to lock on. It can automatically go on to the next, to the nearest. So you see how it moving funny by itself. It basically go into the next item that's closest to it. So make sure your magnet is off. Stay in drawing mode. And that's that. All right. So candles, 4 hour. You get your horizontal line from here, the trend line, horizontal line, text box, rectangle, and long and short position. That's all you really should need. So if you're doing, like, the more confirmations you have, the better. The more confirmations you have, the better. You say you have a trend plus a engulfing, a break and a retest plus a trend, whatever the case may be, then you should be good to go. Before I shut this down, because I beat my record from the last call. Last call was 3 hours. This one only going 2 hours. Any more questions as it relates to my strategy before I stop?
Well, you do good on this time, right?
Huh?
I say you're doing.
I hear you, Ronald. I hear you.
I say you're doing better on the time. I was expecting a little 4 hours again.
You know how long it's gonna take me to upload this now?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, with reference to drawing up the chart, do you have to do it in TradingView? Or I could use the MetaTrader 4, because I
Okay.
don't have TradingView.
So you have MetaTrader 4 on your computer,
On my phone.
on your phone. Okay. So TradingView has an app. I don't know. You have an Android, right? You have an Android.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how the app is work on the phone, but TradingView has an
I
app.
wouldn't recommend the app. I would just go to the website,
Just
and
go
that's
to
more.
TradingView.com.
Yeah, I just have it as I save it as a what you call it, as a icon on my phone. I have an Android
Shortcut.
too.
Okay. You have it as a shortcut.
Yeah, as a shortcut, and then I just once I go onto it, it automatically log on and it uploads, whatever's going on.
I
But
mean,
this is just go type in TradeReview.com and just use it right on your phone, and that'll work.
if you get 150, well, I say in 50 minutes because I used to it. But if you get some free time to work, you working on 4 to 12 or NDO, and you get some time, like you could knock it out on the computer too, at work or whatever. I ain't
I
encouraging
don't
nobody.
do those shifts, so I'll have to do that when I'm home.
Okay. Yeah, that's an alternative too. Yeah, but
So I
so
can only do this on the computer then.
no, you could do it from your phone, but I just find it to be easier
If
to
you,
do it from
yeah,
your.
if you beginning, it'll be a lot easier to do it on the computer. That way you could get a feel for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go overnight shipping. Let's go. Swear to God.
So I have one requirement for my trainings to continue. My one requirement. You all ready to hear this one requirement?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, I stopped sharing just now. My one requirement is that y'all go to Facebook and thank me for the training. That's all I require of you. And when you do that, I will start.